you do the parasite locking, like. You ever done that?
Sometimes, yeah.
with the right song.
Yeah. With the song, like you like.
Yeah, it's like the emotional cup spills over, right?
Yeah, you just get like a really intense moment of emotion. You're like,
yeah, I get that with a lot of like music.
Yeah,
where it's like, especially the ones where it's like I maybe listened to it a number of times, and there's like a certain point in the song where it's like, this is the moment that you know it's coming up, and then and then you start to preemptively cry, but it's not like a sob, you know what I mean? And then there's that one moment where you're just like, now, cry now. Yeah, I've had that many times. Yeah,
I think
that's healthy.
Yeah, that is healthy. I think I discovered crying when I watched Anohana.
What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck do you mean you've discovered crime?
Genuinely,
Why'd you say that like crying?
Like you were the first person who did it.
Yeah, crying was discovered in 2011.
I discovered
God
it was a
first guy to do it. We didn't know it. We saw God do it. We were in utter disbelief.
Does that mean like crying was discovered in 2011? People in 2010.
That's how I genuinely felt.
Like, what the fuck do you mean when you discovered crime?
Because like,
what the hell are you talking about?
Genuinely, like, I cannot remember a point in my life outside of like being like a kid. You know, everyone cries when they're a kid.
Yeah.
For stupid fucking reasons, because we're dumbass kids.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I genuinely don't remember a point where I ever cried, and I had a long period in my life where I genuinely thought I could not cry, or I was just like emotionally, I was like, maybe crying's not just not me, bro. I remember the first time watching Anohana. That was when I discovered I could cry, and holy shit, that was like the cry of my life, man.
I think everyone goes to that stage as a teenager where they're like, I feel no emotions.
Yeah.
And then you very quickly realize, no, you just didn't know how to express them or process them.
Have you ever had those have you ever had those delayed cries where at the time that something emotional is happening, you've maybe become so emotionally overwhelmed that you can't even bring yourself to start crying, and then it's not until after the fact that you look back on it that it immediately erases.
Yeah, I think that's grief. I think a lot of people have that grief.
Yeah.
Like it's very delayed. You hear the news, you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't really hit you what that means or like how you feel about it until later on.
I remember the first time I had that in my life. I was like, this is gonna be mega depressing, so I won't dwell on too much.
No.
It's all good,
when I had a friend in high school who passed away. When I was, I think, 19, and he died of a liver failure.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
he was younger than me, so he was 18.
Yeah.
I remember like when I heard about it, and I went to go see him in the hospital, and this was like hours before he passed away. I remember then and at his funeral, I didn't cry a single time.
Yeah.
And I thought I was fucked up.
Yeah.
In that whole thing. Like, I was like, there were people around me crying at this funeral, and I'm just like, why? I was like, what the fuck, Joe? Why? Are you okay? Like, are you dead inside? Like, why are you not reacting in this way? And then I remember I got home from that funeral, and I went into my room, and then just there wasn't even like a trigger. It was just immediately I just bawled out.
Yeah, maybe it's your like body's like defense is like it's trying to like you can't cry. And, like, and then that's something you're kind of told that you should do. And you obviously your dad who doesn't want to cry.
Yeah.
So, I think this is like a learned behavior.
Yeah, that was the first time. Like I almost like shocked myself when I did that, because that was like such a fucking weird feel. I was like, what the fuck? Why am I suddenly crying so much? I was like, why wasn't I doing this earlier? And then that's when I learned like that was kind of like my body's defense against that. I think that was very powerful. Yeah,
I think that's normal for a lot of guys.
Yeah,
honestly, when you don't feel the emotions, then you just numb. It's almost like numbness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really was weird, because I was like, in my head, I was like, I should be crying right now, but I can't bring myself to do it at this moment.
I mean, you're young, you're 19, and like at that time, it's like you definitely have those feelings. You just don't know what they feel like. You don't know how to process them. You don't know what it means. And like, it's impossible to like break that down. And like actually mentalize and go through it and be like, this is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm.
Big for him too.
He's coming off one of his best years.
And he's extension eligible too, right? He was looking for like a $50 million a year type of extension. And I never understood where the hell that evaluation came from. But
I think it comes from being in for life or so far. They have taken, I guess, maybe not. I'm going to play devil's advocate for the Miami Heat, and they don't deserve it, by the way. But I always try to look at both sides of the coin. Obviously disappointing that you're a perennial playing team and you made no trades. It sucks. I've been there before. Just 2 years ago, the Bulls did nothing with that line when they were about to be a 38-win team. But now we got 4 tradable first-round picks in the offseason.
Yeah.
And some Greek guy that said he might want to be traded, and you might be able to gamble on whether or not he gets traded.
I don't know what you
See,
got.
that's
Because he just took a
I think
picture
that's
with
the
him
thing
and
that
his
kinda
family at
makes-
center court.
I think that's the thing that kind of makes me mad about because it wouldn't be their first time trying to do something like
Yeah,
this.
they're always in this.
Where we have a plan for the offseason, but how many times have they executed that plan?
Right. Yeah. 4 tradable first-round picks, a young
That sound
center
nice, though.
that's interesting but can't play with our best player, and some other younger guys between Kaspar Shakashonas and so on. They're like,
I think
That
that's
could be
another clue too. Like teams, they do see value in the young players, but they're not into it as investing as much. You have to show the talent. And if you got a guy that's not playing on the floor in crunch time and he's getting limited minutes, I think Keon Ellis thing was perfect. It's like, how are you gonna try to sell a guy that you want him to play? We're not gonna we know what he can do, but we might give you like second rounds for him, but we're not gonna give you no value for him.
yeah, the Khalil Ware is one of the most interesting, underrated stories of the whole season so far. Where a guy can go a 3-game stretch. He had a 20-20 game, 20 and 17, and 20 and 15, and then basically doesn't play anymore. He plays, but he doesn't play a role that you would think for somebody that just had a 20-20 last
And
month.
I think too, like teams want a big that can do what he does. Like he blocks shot, he can space the floor too. I think teams are dying for bigs that are able to just space the floor alongside block some shots.
I think maybe he's the next team guy. I don't know what Spo sees or like what he's trying to instill in him, but you gotta let your young guys go out there and make mistakes. I don't understand this whole tight leash with a young center. He's gonna make mistakes, and there's only way to learn from your
games though. But
Huh?
that mistakes might cost you a few games.
That's fine. What the fuck are they competing for?
I just told you, Pat Riley's not tanking.
This team is going
Trying to
nowhere, Mike.
compete.
This team is going
The
nowhere.
reason why they're attached to John Morant, they're attached to Giannis, is they don't want to lose.
Yeah, but Khalil Ware making a few
Whatever
mistakes
you know,
isn't going to change
Harry's
their
supposed to be
standings.
tanking.
Huh?
Harry's supposed to he's not going to tank and go through that. He's going to play his guys.
Man, fuck that. You sitting at the AC, you won the game above 500.
What's the conversation?
About Khalil Ware, just interesting that he don't really play. That's all.
What is your point of view?
Is that you got to let your young center go out there and make mistakes. That there's no way he's going to learn and develop those mistakes if you don't just put him in the fire.
I can't speak for Eric Spoelstra, but it has to be more than that.
About
to get fired. Huh?
You know how old owners are?
Maybe,
Hey, I'm 82. So trade that one for 50 years from now. I don't be able to see that shit.
And somebody just waiting. They convince themselves as a fan. That pick gonna be something, boy.
We got how y'all talk about our team on a podcast? You didn't mention we have the 2055 first round pick.
I'm already scouting for it.
It might be a fucking alien for all you know. We have a chance.
Ayo on the Timberwolves sounds so amazing, by the way.
It does.
Downhill
Does that
attacker.
sound too good to be true? You ever see those trades where it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. Wolves fans was like, yeah, man, we got the greatest shooter in the league. I'm like, hold on, I know he's shooting 45% from 3, but let's not act like you got Steph Curry now. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot it, but he ain't shooting it like that for real.
I'm just talking out of my ass, by the way. Ayo gonna be real good.
I love Ayo here, man. And it cost him Rob Dillingham, who shout out to Rob. Hopefully he comes to Chicago and ball out.
This trade broke when we were walking in. Like, I was maybe 50 steps maybe behind you, and I seen the trade, and when I walked in, you had kind of beat the two, and you're like, man, hope we got Young Bears Day.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all probably got robbed.
And we got Rob fucking Dillingham. This is an amazing trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Didn't cost them a single thing that they really care about. I'm giving this a straight up A, because I feel like even though he has only played one playoff series in his career, I feel like Ayo's a guy that when we get to the postseason, he's gonna give them some moments.
Mhm.
He can start with them, he can close with them, he can play basically 3 positions, he can guard basically 3 positions, which is pretty interesting. So I think this is a win.
Yeah, no, he gives them a lot versatility and also the ability on the offensive side of the ball. He just doesn't hurt you. Whether he's has the ball in his hand, whether he's being a playmaker, whether he's shooting, whether he's getting to the basket. Offensively, Ayo's a very, very well polished offensive weapon.
Yeah,
He's
he's a good basketball player.
They're my Western Conference team for the rest of the season just because Io's there.
Oh, for sure. I said that when
Minnesota
he was,
Timberwolves, baby.
Yeah, once he got traded, I tweeted out a picture of the Wolves.
How do you feel about the Bulls' return, though, Derek? Rob Dillingham, Leonard Miller, 4 second-round picks.
Some bullshit. I mean, there's 2 players that the Minnesota Timberwolves obviously didn't care about no more, and they hold no value to the Wolves. Those are 2 guys that they're not gonna have a long tenures with Chicago, and those second-round picks ain't really anything.
Well, Rob might have a long tenure. Are we all out on Rob as a real NBA player?
Well,
Not
when you
even
look at
Rob,
this
I
team,
think small
KB,
guards in
where is he
general
getting his minutes? Again, he's in a situation where there's a bunch of
I
fucking
agree.
guards.
I mean, I would hope that maybe ownership sits down with Billy and say, hey, play Rob over Colin Sexton, but who the hell knows? Because Billy's just like, that guy, he competes every night. So, I don't know. But worst case scenario, Rob doesn't get a lot of minutes this year, but Anthony's gone, and then Sexton's gone by next season, and Rob is still on the roster. It's like, okay, that's where he gets minutes. I think that they're also hanging on to the Josh Giddey injury right now, like making him sit out longer than necessary just so some of these dudes can play.
I'd rather play Yuki Kakamura over
Who?
Rob Dillingham. Yuki Kakamura.
Kakamura?
How do you say it?
Karamore.
Karamore?
You'd
Noth-
rather play him over Rob Dillingham?
Nothing about that name said Kai.
Yakamura.
Look at them. Go look at the name.
It's
and tell
Yuki
me-
Kakamura, right? I'm really saying it wrong?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What about that? When you read that name, where are you seeing it at though?
Yuki Kawamura.
Yes.
Ah.
Is there a second K in his last name? No, it's just
it's Yuki Kawamura.
Karamore.
I don't know why.
With his friends, this didn't stop them from having a good time. Ernest often hosted parties featuring childhood games like Monopoly and Uno, adding in his adult flair by turning them into drinking games, with one game in particular being top of mind that night. Hide and seek. The evening began with Ernest inviting his Facebook friends to the function, letting them know that this time the game night would be held at an Airbnb rather than in his home, though he never gave out the address, as this was a closed invitation event, which he made very clear on his page. Please don't show up with nobody I didn't personally invite. We didn't discuss it first. They're going to get left outside. Ernest took this so seriously that at one point he even called out one of his viewers, stating outright that they were not allowed to show up under any circumstances.
You're not invited. You're not pulling up on me. The person who just joined. If you're still watching, you're not invited. Because you don't fucking listen, and I'm gonna bang you in your mouth next time.
However, it was never revealed to
I'm gonna bang you in your mouth next time? What kind of a threat is that? Never heard someone say that in my whole life. I'm gonna bang you in your mouth. That's insane. That's kind of. Will that be hot?
exactly this person was, or why Ernest expressed such hostility towards them. From there, Ernest would start and stop his live stream a few different times, showing the progression of the party, which ended up with a decent turnout.
Decent turnout. There's 3 people dancing in the kitchen.
And by 2 a.m., with there being no signs of slowing down, it was time for the main event. About to play hide and seek. This was the caption for Ernest's.
I remember looking at my phone and be like, sorry, what? Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and it ended up going down later that day for Darius Garland in a second-round pick. And like Harden has said, he didn't request a trade. And to be honest, like the situation is a little different than like Houston, Brooklyn, Philly. As we said in our trade deadline video, this trade honestly kind of works for the Clippers. Like they get younger, they don't have to give up draft capital or any more players. Yeah, Garland's got his problems, mainly injury issues, but I think it's a decent enough trade for the Clippers. You know, a nice little risk-reward thing for them. But that makes it 4 trades for Harden in the last 6 seasons. And for a player the caliber of Harden, like, it's kind of unprecedented in NBA history.
Yeah, it's not like Russ where he's been struggling to find a spot, or like Chris Paul, same thing.
Like Vince Carter at the end of his career when he clearly was just a role player. Like Harden's averaging 25 and 8 this year.
Yeah, he's arguably like an all-star level player, and it's just insane that he continues to move teams. Like you mentioned, like this situation is different than the previous one, but all these trades adding up, like this ultimately is going to be part of his legacy, especially the way he's went about a lot of these trades, you know, requesting them pretty publicly, at least it's not a secret whatsoever, completely like quitting on teams and basically doing whatever he's needed to do to get his way. In the past, like I think it was around a year ago, I pushed to make a puff piece on him because I feel like his actual play on the court is underappreciated. The playoff choking is there, but he's also had some tough circumstances, had to go up against those prime warriors. But at the end of the day, like when you're looking back at his legacy, sure, you're never going to forget the MVP season. You're never going to forget the insane score in that 2019 season. But also like the playoff choking and all these damn trades are going to be remembered as well. He basically represents like everything a lot of people hate about modern NBA superstars.
Yeah, like the diva who like, you know, quits on a team at the first sign of adversity, you know, publicly, you know, causes problems in the locker rooms, like demands out, requests trades. It's just like, for me, it's the fact that he always just seems to skip out at the first sign of like something going
Exactly,
on.
the first sign.
It's like, buddy, just like stick around for like a half a year. If he had done that with most of these scenarios, it probably would have ended up correcting itself, right?
So yeah, we'll see what happens in Cleveland. It's a better win now situation.
Come on, man. This is one of the #1 rules as a head coach. I get it. Like, there's certain ways to make your player accountable and like tell them they need to try harder and all this stuff. But to say that, yeah, he's been hunted on defense these past 2 games. It's just been the case here. No different. He's asked that. Come on, man.
Now,
he's not lying.
Now,
come on, man.
That's one, is that he's not lying. 2, what if he did all the things? Because you said there's other ways to do it. What if he's tried that? What if he's had meetings with Sengun and be like, listen, bro, I'm gonna need you to lock in on this defense. And Sengun's like, yeah. You want to see a hook shot? Like, if that's the case, I've tried everything. It's also, again, just real. The team has not been playing well.
I would think what you're saying.
I'm gonna need you to step.
I don't think it's if. I think that surely has happened. Like he wouldn't have said this if not for, like this isn't a lack of judgment or like a slip up. Like he said this on purpose, and he wouldn't have done this unless he previously had conversations and have tried other ways to hold Sengun accountable. In this game, he gave up a really bad back cut that was effort based, and Kevin Durant screamed at him and said, "Play some fucking defense."
Yeah,
because Kevin Durant was a weak side help that had to make up for it. And there was just no way for him to get there on time because how would he expect such a poor effort from the front side? So, yeah, I suspect that it's probably pretty likely that there has been some conversations behind closed doors and they're not happy with the way things have gone as of late for Sengun. Interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, and your entire season can't fall apart because you don't have Steven Adams there.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple and plain. We are going to go into the playoffs, and it's going to be you and Jabari on this front line. You guys are going to have to hold it down. I know Jabari's going to try, or you. And I understand that you have to, that they are asking him to do a lot offensively. Hey, welcome to being a superstar.
Yeah.
And welcome also to being a superstar that's not 35 years old. Like, this is just what you are expected to do. And as I feel like I've been more pro Sengun as of late. But as you guys have said time and time again, you're not knocking down these threes. It's not like the numbers offensively.
Bro, he only had 10 games specifically that was shooting well from 3. The rest of the 30.
Because it ain't like he's not playing up to expectation. He's on an injury.
He averaged 25 last year.
So
Achilles.
I'm also curious to see when he eventually comes back. Like, what's that look like as a team tries
Well,
to
do you
get-
sign him right now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it probably makes sense to. It don't make no sense to wait.
But nobody got the money to sign what Damian Lillard want. He probably better hit her in 2026 free agency where everybody got money and being like, I'm back.
Yeah.
But
D-Mill's finna be a new fan of a team.
yeah, I wish he was here to get his live reaction. Maybe we call him and see what he got to say. But okay, this Damian Lillard thing just broke my brain. You know, we've talked about it multiple times on the show that the grass is not always greener. And here's a prime example of that.
Yeah, I'm ready to go now. This got me ready to go. Buddy! He got a card because I bought that boat.
The Pacers just traded for the Pacers just traded Domantas Sabonis to the Kings for Tyrese Halliburton. What? You're lying.
Yeah, that's it. For
Oh
money.
my god. Oh my god. Reach just got dealt. What? Oh my god. Fuck this reaction, bro.
They just got a live reaction of us to a trade.
Oh my god, bro. Damn, bro.
do an outro? One of y'all want to do an outro?
It's either 16 or 12.
Okay.
I know it's like a big difference, but it's a lot of space.
The Nuggets have fired Mike Malone.
No,
What?
they didn't. You lying.
What the fuck is happening
What?
in the NBA?
No way.
Yes, they did. Yes,
No
they
way.
did. So back to basketball talk, ladies and gentlemen. 2 coach firings a week and 3 weeks before the NBA playoffs start.
The Denver one is crazier.
That doesn't even make sense.
I
I feel like both of these firings have been kind of.
Who's their lead assistant over there?
David Adams' son. No, David Adams.
Yeah, Rick
Adams' son. Yeah.
Because again, you think about like the Grizzlies one, it starts to make a little bit of sense when you say Isolo.
David Adams will take over.
Okay, there we go. You like Isolo, however you pronounce his name, was gonna hit the open market, and there was 0% chance we were gonna retain him. So let's fire the coach and give him the job right now. I don't know. Was Adelman a highly recruited type of like a guy we looked at and said, hey,
He was. Not
Mike
to this
Malone
level.
has been so vocal about disliking the team building.
Everything, so that way we don't have to deal with Darvin Ham being the interim head coach either.
I've watched one. I was looking at it right now. Do I remember that game? I've watched one game since Giannis went down with an injury of the Bucks. You could tell me their defense has been incredible since he went down. You could tell me that Kevin Porter Jr. is averaging 40. I'll be like, oh, okay. You know, that's how little I've watched them. The only game I did watch is when they beat the Bulls the other night. So the only reason I watched that is because my team was involved. You know? And I tried to watch last night, but there was too much going on, fights and all this other shit. I tried to watch last night because it was a Franz Wagner return, but I just couldn't find myself to be truly interested in
Well,
it.
it wasn't really that close of a game.
Yeah, no. When I was watching, it was close, and then I looked up, and the shit was over.
Hey, hopefully Cam Thomas get it going over there.
Do you think that's a good signing for him, right? This team is looking for an offensive boost.
And apparently according to him, they said that they've been interested in bringing him on board for a long time now. So if he's somewhere where he feels wanted and he looks happy, he's smiling more. So
You know what I was thinking? I mean, obviously getting waived sucked, right? You just don't want to get waived. It's even worse because hypothetically, if he played out the season, even if he got benched and didn't play the second half, a team would be like, well, we're going to give him a chance because we maybe – when you go to a new team in the second part of the season, this is your new chance. So you may have less suitors in the offseason because we just saw what a change of scenery looks like, and he only scored or he looked the same exact way. If he played the whole season with the Brooklyn Nets and got benched the last 2 months.
You have the excuse of that.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Nets just wasn't my situation, bro. And then you could get a new contract or maybe a better contract than a minimum or something. But now that he on his second team, if it don't work out, he going to hit free agency, and he will get a job because he's too talented to not get a job. But it'll be – we're going to give you a 2-year, $8 million with an option at the end of that, just to see if you got any juice left.
Yeah.
It's kind of a double downside getting waived.
But if he go out there and hoop.
If he go out there and hoop, he may have found a new home.
Yeah.
Bold prediction from me. The Charlotte Hornets are a real basketball team. This is a real good basketball team. This is not just a hot streak. I think they continue what they've been doing in the second half of the season, and I think they fight for a 6th spot.
Oh, wow.
Do they get it?
Yeah.
Probably not. But I think they can get right there up to 7. I think it's like a 4-game gap between them and the 7th seed. The Sixers are going to continue to win games. It might get a little tough to catch the Sixers, but I think they're going to jump up, and they have a chance to jump up significantly, in my opinion.
It's not even a bold
Especially
prediction.
whenever Kobe White can come back.
I had it as an honorable mention, so it wasn't even part of mine, is that they win their 2 play-in games. I know there's a world where they don't even need to do 2 play-in games. They get up to the 7-8 matchup.
Yeah.
But I think that they got enough juice to win 2. And where they are right now, if this stays the same, they'd have to win 2 on the road. But I do think that's a possibility, man. This team plays hard. They'll throw a punch or 2 if necessary.
Even last night against the number 1 seed, played really good down and
endure. Some tell that the outsider rent itself asunder and was taken in its turn. Others warn that no prison ever trammeled it, that it alone of the Ingir never fell, and that one day it will return. Okay, so I know this doesn't tell us anything that we haven't already covered here, but that's the point. You gotta remember that before this moment in time, the community largely believed that the outsider's entire storyline had been retconned. These passages are confirmation that that's not the case. More importantly, it even references the obscure material from the White Dwarf. And let's be honest, if anything was going to be retconned, it would be something from a magazine that most of the fan base didn't read. Unfortunately, as of the time of this recording, this is where the mystery surrounding the outsider has come to a standstill. The 10th edition Necron Codex didn't give us any new pieces to the puzzle that I was able to find. Now, if you want my take on it, I absolutely think that we will see the Outsider return, if for no other reason than it's another expensive model that Games Workshop can sell to us Necron players. What that will look like, though, is anybody's guess. In order for them to make a model of the Outsider, then that would imply the Necrons were able to defeat him and bind his shards, which, just based on all of the information we've gone over so far, I don't know how that's possible. If one Catan is bad enough, then an insane amalgamation of dozens, if not hundreds of them, merged together into a body 32 million times larger than our planet sounds like something that may—
That's really Charles Lee. They don't want to be Doodle Bob. No, not at all.
Doodle Bob was for LaMelo. He's the most Doodle Bob player.
I was waiting to see who was gonna say it.
That's how he drives, dude.
That's how he thinks back.
He never getting a driver's license. It doesn't matter. They say he's a driver now. Oh, they say he rides in the back of the sprinter now. Give away his keys. Uber blacks everywhere. He's responsible now.
I go, his ass do be lying about that. We know he's gonna be driving. This is riding dirty for sure.
He's lying to his dad. What else are you gonna do? Nah, well, race.
Yeah.
Miami Heat. What works describe their future with Giannis on the team?
Sometimes you gotta race. Miami Heat.
The future now has Giannis. The future is now.
Serious. Finally, we can take him all serious.
Nah.
Reloaded.
What?
Tell me more.
I mean, you have Giannis there, and I think this. So like,
you do have Giannis there.
So one, you got a freak in the door.
True.
Two, this entire lineup, especially now that Norm Powell is not here, once again, and I asked this last week, who is taking jumpers for this team? I think that they're gonna. We saw the reinvention of the offense last year. We're gonna have to see something like another version of that, just because this entire roster isn't set up to play like normal basketball. They're gonna have to be a little bit more creative.
I don't think the shooting is that bad, but where is the perimeter ball handling?
I do think that
the spot of shooting. There's
no
off the dribble shooters like that, which matters. But Wiggins, Hardaway, Davion, Pell, and Bobby Portis all space the floor from a catch and shoot perspective well enough. You're not helping all of them. Like, those aren't like Jared Vanderbilt type of shooters. Like you're gonna respect them all. Don't have off the dribble shooters, which matters a lot in today's league. Maybe it's nullified a little bit by having Giannis, who's obviously gonna do a lot of that ball handling. But where is a perimeter shot making from? Who's gonna be your Chris Middleton to like get Giannis into these sets, or Drew Holiday to get Giannis into these sets? Like that's the thing that I really want Norm Powell for. Which it's not like Norm Powell was great at that either, but he can create a shot off the dribble. And if one of these big men set a screen, he could walk into a mid-range pull-up. Who is doing that here? Do you trust in the last minute?
It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be Wiggs, just because.
What the fuck?
No. If anything, it'll be Davion Mitchell. He has like a higher ceiling.
It won't be Wiggs. It won't be Wiggs.
The only reason why I'm saying it is just because Wiggs is tall. That's the only reason why.
That's why it can't be him. That's why it can't be.
I don't think Davion is gonna be the guy.
You're right. It also can't be him.
Yeah.
I think the answer is gonna be Giannis, and he's just gonna have to do that and like be a more mature ball handler at that size, which is a lot to ask of a 6'11" player of any sort.
Congratulations,